All right, man cave influencers, we are back. We got a little video for called Talk That Thought. Really good channel. Love his content. I'll leave the link in the description box. So let's get to it. Wonder what we're going to be talking about today. Oh, dear God. I'm going to have to start drinking already.
Welcome back, family. Today we will review women who divorce their husbands because of their so-called happiness, then cry later on when reality settle in.
Divorce is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, you guys. It's been a year since everything got finalized.
It's just,
And
can we, I'm going to see if I get a good shot of this.
life.
Some guy married this, right? So she's claiming it's with a dude, I'm assuming. Someone married this. Someone married a woman with tattoos all over her fingers, neck tattoo, septum ring. I don't know what type of even ring that is above her lip. Shaved head. And look at those slashes in her eyebrows. Like, some dude vetted her and said, yeah, I'm going to marry this chick. This is who I see in my future. Wow. Just wow.
I am thriving really lately, and finally happy with my routine and my solitude and the things that I do on my own.
Why are you making a video on TikTok?
But this week marks a year, and I'm feeling that grief, just kind of clouding over me.
But you're happy. Why are you
Which
on
is
here?
wild. It's this person doesn't even exist in your life after 7 years, and like the thought that the things that you thought you were going to build together no longer are.
Wait, hold on a second. You this was 7 years ago? You've known this guy for 7 years, broke up, and you're still grieving over this? Okay.
Viable. So it's just a confusing place to be, Went out last night, had a great time, but now I'm feeling a little in my feels, if you would say. So if you're somebody that's struggling with a divorce,
Why'd you get a divorce?
you're not alone.
Why did you get a
And
divorce?
specifically, if you're the person who asked for the divorce and you feel sad, it's normal. I feel like nobody speaks about the person that took the step towards it, right? Because they're just seen in a bad light.
Because you broke up a family? I don't know your story. I don't know if you have built a family. But let's be honest. Did you build a family? Did you have children? God, I can't believe someone with open eyes put a child inside you. But that's beside the point. What I'm trying to figure out is like, what was the cause and the reasons behind getting a divorce? Would you ever answer that? For some reason, I just have this bad feeling they'll never answer that question. But a lot of women, 76% of divorces are initiated by women. So you took the time to build a family, and then you took the time to say, I don't want to do this anymore, and destroy a family. And then you don't hold yourself accountable. You just hold everyone else accountable. Well, I had to do it because of him. He was a bad person. Well, what did he do? Well, we're all do bad things. Well, okay. So what did you do? What could you have done better? Well, nobody's perfect. We're all not perfect. That's not what I asked. I asked, what did you do wrong in the relationship that you could have done better? Mum's the word.
Stop fighting. You didn't want to work on it anymore. You gave up, whatever the case may be. But it is really difficult to make that decision, and it is really difficult to stand by that decision, and it's really hard to navigate the feelings of both wanting to now be on your own and still grieving the fairy tale thing that you had with that person.
There you go. The fairy tale. This is what gets a lot of modern women tripped up. The fairy tale. You ever noticed you never hear men talk about fairy tale or the perfect wedding or the perfect life? Because weddings and marriage are not perfect. The wedding is really more so for the woman to feel better about that. Someone actually, I really got to stop hitting the pause button because it just makes it look that much worse. But anyway, it's professional. What I have a problem with is that fairy tale, the Walt Disney, the Hallmark. You guys are adults thinking that this is how life is. This is why men don't take a lot of women seriously. And women who do understand that marriage is a lot of work and there's a lot of turmoil and there's a lot of things that you go into it. It's not about you anymore. Big ups to you women, because you're the last line of defense from idiots like this. God, I can't look at her face. Oh God. Anyway, you're the last line of defense from women who don't seem to understand that that's not what life's about. It's about working hard. It's about working together, working with your spouse. And a lot of these women don't get that. They keep saying fairy tale, what I thought it would be. You talk to your parents, and your parents will tell you what it was really like. And I guarantee you they told you 50-50 about how their life was together, but you found the negative parts, and only the negative parts, to talk about how bad, her husband and my daddy treated her badly. There's also a video of a woman, a girl, who said, 5 years old, thought that her dad just left her. And as an adult, was still pushing that narrative. And then the father, who I guess is big on Bitcoin, actually told him, like, I got receipts to show that she's got, not only was I still around, but I was not only that far away, but I also sent your mother millions of dollars. And she still was pushing a narrative. And I'm just like, I'm going to do a video on that. And I'm just like, narcissists will always double down, triple down, and quadruple down their BS. They'll never tell you the truth of why the marriage was broken up or what, but they just say, well, I remember when I was 5 years old and I was incapable of making rational decisions, that daddy wasn't around. So I just kept going along with it.
You cannot say that you are living your best life and being depressed at the same damn time.
Yep.
Fellas, yes, she was probably high when she was partying and having her so-called good time yesterday. But this is her true reality: depression, loneliness, and sadness. What you have here is a prime example of the state of mind of most modern women. It's impulse life decision-making driven by emotions. It's all about me, 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 me. Here is another example of the level of selfishness of the modern woman.
My story is not unique. I left a marriage after 15 years. I had 3 kids with the man. I had built a life with him, and I really wanted it to work. Deciding when it was time to leave, deciding that I had tried hard enough, deciding that yes, it was worth to take the risk of the unknown for leaving the known, which I had become very accustomed to over the last 15 years.
Whose
Even though I
fault
was
is that?
miserable, there was some security to it. There was a little bit of, at least I was comfortable in knowing what to expect. As the years would roll by and every birthday I got the same card that said next year will be better, I somewhere deep inside thought to myself, there's no way, and the only way that my life is going to change is if I leave. But I had 3 kids, and I was also thinking, wait, if my happiness means that I'm taking away the kids' happiness, and all of the guilt that came into play of, am I being so selfish that I want to leave this, and is it bad enough? But here's the kicker. The kicker is that if you are in a place where you are absolutely miserable, you're being treated horribly, or whatever your circumstances are, but you know in your heart that the only way to change your life is to leave, let me tell you that you will carry guilt with you, that it will be extremely difficult. And when you are looking for people who you're like, okay, well, she left and look how her life turned out, and you're looking for examples, and your mind is researching for the evidence that you're going to be.
All right, I'm just going to jump the gun because here's the thing. She knows the answer. This is why they come on TikTok. They go on TikTok for validation for their choices. Because here's the thing. If a man said the same thing, he would say, I left because of this, and it is what it is. Straight to the point. There's no question about it. When a woman says this, she has to go through all these loopholes, spinning around, going in loops, finding every avenue, but it comes up rolling up donut. So she goes the other way, donut, this way, donut, 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 donut. And they do this all day long. You know the answer is you created 3 children. I'm a douchebag for sticking with somebody while ignoring their red flags, and you basically waited to the very last minute to tell yourself, well, this is wrong. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this. This is wrong. I probably shouldn't do this. So not only first kid popped it out, boop. Second kid popped it out, boop. Third kid popped it out, boop. You know, this isn't working for me. Yes, honey, it is selfish. It is selfish that you created a life with someone, didn't vet them properly, and here you go, complaining, looking, and you're phrasing words. Listen to what she's saying. She is phrasing all the words to validate her piss poor choices. They will pop out children because the children make them feel like there's somebody wanted them. The marriage says that somebody wanted you. And then in the end, you can just say, well, I did the best I could. We don't know what you did, but you'll say that you did the best you could. Now these children have no family. You've separated the father from the children, and then you get to live your life, your bestie life, while you get to say he was a deadbeat and a monster, this and that. But once again, I guarantee you, she won't say one thing she did wrong, but she did everything right.
Okay? I'm going to tell you that no matter what it is that's the unknown that's on the other side, if you are in a situation right now where years are passing by and you are still miserable in a relationship and you're not being taken care of and you're not being seen and you're not being heard and you're just being alone in a marriage, the unknown is terrifying, but there's nothing more terrifying than looking back and seeing all the years that you wasted living in fear.
What fear? See how they, like I say, when these women will use words, fear, intimidated, threatened. They always use the same type of words to justify the actions, to say, well, this is why I did it, because I felt in fear. Then you ask him exactly what he did that made you living in fear. Well, when women are in a relationship, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you. What did you do? What was happening to you that was saying that you were living in fear? Well, when an apple falls off a tree, what the hell are you talking about? You're like a politician. You'll keep dodging that question all day long. Here's the thing. You don't feel loved. You don't feel appreciated. The only people that should be always begging for their parents' attention and getting the attention, period, are the children. There is no such thing as a wife should be begging for attention. My question is your husband working 80-hour days? Is your husband, let me rephrase that. Was your husband working 80-hour days? Was your husband providing the life that you wanted, especially with the economy that we're living in, where pretty much it takes two incomes to take care of most families nowadays because of how our government has destroyed not only the world, but the whole foundation of a nuclear family. No, we don't want to talk about that. Was he working hard to make sure you had all the things you wanted in life? That car you're driving, the clothes you're wearing? I'm pretty sure you won't bring any of those stuff up. You want to talk about you're underappreciated. My question is this, because many men have been with women and they've lived with them long enough, and it says, I have a question for you. While you're talking about your feelings, because you're like a child, and children need the time and attention just like any other parent. My question is, have you ever stood there long enough to ask your husband, how was your day? You look stressed. Is anything wrong with you? Are you okay? Most of the time, wives will not ask these questions, but every time it's about me. I go through this. I go through that. I'm dealing with all these things. But you ignore the look on your husband's face, the defeat, the tyranny of having to go out in this world and provide for a family only to come home to screaming children, which he'll tolerate, and a wife that's biatching and moaning about the most dumbest stuff because she doesn't have the galls to say, how's your day going? Do you come home and make sure that his whole life is taken care of, that he can come home after a hard day of work because you register that he works hard for the family and he puts in all the extra hours to work hard for that family? Or do you just sit there and complain about it, that you're not getting the attention? These are children.
Time you hear a woman saying that she just wanted to be happy, that is why she left. Just know that she wanted more and more and more and more. Meanwhile, their selfish decisions destroy the lives of their kids. Check it out.
I don't mean to cut out. I'm just going to say this real quickly. Women have an addiction to TikTok. They put their whole stupid life on TikTok. She's crying on TikTok looking for validation. Look at how they phrase things, because they want attention. This is their therapy. So any woman that tells you men need therapy, men need to go out and get and be healed, this and that, they're only talking about themselves. These women need help. These women need validation every single day to feel better, but they won't go to a therapist, because the therapist may tell them the wrong thing. But other broken women like themselves will 100% go on board and tell them, it's not your fault, girl. You get the bad girl. It's his loss, while she divorced him.
Crying because my son is leaving. He's going to see his dad. And it just hurts.
And what is even more revolting is that they turn again this whole situation into a "look at me, I'm so sad," just to grab more attention. In case you want to feel sorry for her crying, let me show you the last clip this woman posted on her page about men and how she views relationships.
I finally cracked the code for permanently staying in the honeymoon phase with your partner. Now, before you think that's not possible, I can be gone for 15 minutes and this man will greet me like I've been gone for a week. There's not one time I've said, "Hey, I really feel like a walk," and he's been like, "Nah, I'd rather stay home." And no matter how mad we may be at each other, we always sleep in the same bed. Isn't that right? Get a dog.
Honestly, I personally don't care what these selfish women do with their lives as long as they don't have any children, because their selfish acts put their children in every statistical disadvantage, and we, as the society, have to deal now with these kids. Shaking my damn head. Let's check out our last divorced woman.
And it's so, oh Jesus, wow. Yeah, and it's really sad, because I'm just like, they're given a pass for breaking up families, because that's what the government wants. They want nuclear families to be non-existent, because without a strong father or a husband running the family, there's anarchy and chaos, because women have zero responsibility and zero control over their actions. So you look at these women, they're just rampant, giving them free passes. You want to get a divorce? Here you go. It's not reasonable enough. That's fine. Here you go. They can just be told that you don't have to do this or that. You can just leave, and that's it. Destroy a family. The government does not care about families. This country does not care about families. This world is slowly stopping to care about families. You're wondering why the world has so many problems, because we allow the women to have all the power, and they know that if you give women the power, destruction comes right after it. That's why the importance of picking the right person, and this goes for men too. Pick the right person in your lives.
I'm just getting back from a soccer game, and I'm sitting in my car in the dark garage, and I wanted to share something with you guys. And I know if I don't share it right now and record it, that I won't do it tomorrow, because the feeling will be gone, and then I'll just tell myself it's stupid and nobody cares anyway.
Really? No, nobody cares.
I wanted to share something about being divorced that nobody really talks about or tells you about.
Sure.
Tonight's game
I'm sure there was people that said it online.
of that, because it was an awesome game. It was like tied 0-0, and we scored in like the last 12 seconds. It was awesome. And everybody's cheering, and it's just, and it was just a reminder that I am missing my partner next to me, where I can share in the depth of that experience with. You know how you can kind of just like look at your
I'm going to stop. I'm so sick and tired of this nonsense. Let's get something straight. There are plenty of videos online where there are women who have come back and realizing how stupid it was to get divorced, thinking that the grass was greener, thinking that they would get this whole beautiful life after. No, you knew it was there. You just didn't give a crap about it enough. That's what it is. You didn't care about it enough to pay attention to what these adults were saying. So you listened to the other people talking about living your bestie life. And when it came down to that, all of a sudden you jumped on board with it. You know family members that have done it. You know friends that have done it. You know all these people that have done it. It's not that no one told you. is because you ignored it. You chose to ignore it because it was just the best thing to do, because that made you feel better. Getting the responsibility didn't make you feel better. That's why you jumped on the bandwagon. You got divorced because you jumped on the bandwagon and thought it was going to be better. And then you found out, wow, this is really better. This is actually horrible. Yeah, that's what happened. That is what happens. So now you get to make your bed and lay in it. Plain and simple. So that's it for today. This video is running a little bit low. I left the link in the description box. And after that, the man cave is always open.